Good afternoon to you, friends. This is Paul with Faith, Family, and Free Enterprise, and I just have a short little thought I wanted to share with you all today. I was thinking about this today as I was driving around. We talk about value, things that are extremely valuable, things that are irreplaceable, maybe even. When we think of, in that list, the time that God has given us, extremely valuable. You know, you hear that time is more valuable than money and all these things that are very true. Once you waste time, you can't ever get it back. You know, it's one of those things so valuable. We talk about our relationships that are valuable, that God has given to us. And if we waste those relationships, sometimes it can take weeks, years, decades even, to reestablish the impact that we could have had. Or if sometimes relationships are permanently severed. People are no longer involved in our lives, stuff like that. We talk about the abilities and gifts and things like that God has given to us that we need to be, that are valuable, that we need to be wise stewards of. So here's what I was thinking. What is the proof of how valuable we actually treat something? We might say it's valuable to us, but what's the proof that says, wow, they really place a high value on whatever the item is, whatever the thing is? And there's, verses that talk about out of the heart the mouth speaketh, when we react in a moment. But another verse that says, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. And so we can see things that we put value on in that way as well. But really what it comes down to is when we make choices. We pick what is most important to us. And I was reflecting on this in my own life because there were some choices I made that were not in alignment with what I say is most valuable to me. And there were selfish choices. There were things that I knew in the moment I was out of line from what is actually most important to me. Or was it because I actually was choosing something else that shouldn't be as important to me? Well, I was reading this afternoon in my book, Dream Big, Think Small, here by Jeff Manion, and he says here, while it is possible for us to destroy our lives through a single enormous blunder, what King Solomon describes here, and he's talking about the man whose vineyard had fallen into disarray and was going to be sacked probably any time now. What King Solomon describes here is a more subtle path to ruin. The mess is achieved through apathy. Not a single huge mistake, but slow and steady neglect. So I want to encourage you, I want to challenge you. If something is truly valuable in your life, you really believe that the time God has given you is extremely valuable, and you want to be a really wise steward of all that God has given you, the people in your lives, the abilities God has given you, don't neglect them. Don't be apathetic about it. Be intentional. Take the time. Take the effort. Plan out the date night with the spouse, the daily Bible reading or prayer time with the kids, the development and use of the spiritual gifts and the abilities that God has given you. All of these things will decay, will fall apart, and will just be wasted if we are not intentionally nurturing them, building them up, and pulling out the weeds and making sure the wall is well placed around those things that God has given us to steward. So I hope that's an encouragement. I hope this is a challenge to you as it was to me. And it says here, if you have found yourself in a place of disarray where there is a marital earthquake or a financial, emotional wake-up call, don't let your pain be wasted. Use this challenging, humbling experience to begin building your life in a new and different way. The pathway to a renewed life often passes through seasons of disorienting failure. Don't lose hope. Today's a new day. And God is still faithful, I would add to that. So, keep at it. Keep doing the things that need to be doing, investing in the things that need to be invested in that are truly valuable.